It's time for Home Loans Radio on Real Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. Join the conversation. Text us at 77031. Now, here's that mortgage guy, Don.
Hey. Good morning to you. Welcome to the Home Loans Radio Show. You are listening to us here live on a beautiful, third weekend in September morning, doing what we do every single weekend. We talk about what, MJ?
Ooh, we talk about mortgages.
That's right. I'm here with my crew. I've got MJ here this morning and back in the studio, pulling the levers and pushing the buttons and doing the gizmos and those things. We got the Fritz man.
And entertaining.
Soy estadounidense.
Welcome, Mr. Bustamante. How are you today?
I'm doing excelente. Gracias.
Muy
Mucho gusto.
interesante.
I'll call that al dente, and off we go on our show, doing what we do.
Toothsome.
What do we talk about here? We talk about mortgages and home loans and how to get a house, how to buy a house, how to sell a house. We talk about, I'm a mortgage expert, and I can answer your questions having anything to do with doing a cash out mortgage, getting a refinance, getting rid of your PMI, buying a house, buying a triplex, buying an investment property, you name it. Questions about homeowners insurance or I don't know, all this stuff, PMI, we can answer it. And as we do every single weekend throughout the year. Beautiful morning this morning, a little bit cool out there. Did you catch that on the way in, Fritz?
Oh my God, it feels so good. It's
Wow.
like it's actually fall.
Right.
It's crazy.
It'll pass.
It feels so good though, and it reminds me instantly of like growing up and feeling Halloween is right around the corner. Just that sudden shift, just like 10 degrees cooler, still humid, but just 10 degrees cooler.
Still okay pool weather, you think?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I am having a pool party today.
What
for you?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
It was postponed from July because of COVID, so we had to postpone it. So we're having it in September.
good for you. You did, just for those people out there, they're going to say so. It is a 100% vaccinated party required.
It is actually a vaccinated pool party.
Yeah. Good for you. You get to have more fun when you're vaccinated.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds like fun. I hope you have a great time.
I think it will be fun.
Well, good. What do you got going today, Fritz? Anything fun?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out. I also have a pool party that I'm going to. I just found out about. I'm going to bring over a couple bottles of Jaeger. I'm going to bring over my banana hammock, American flag Speedo, and probably, some party favors.
The Speedo will be most welcome.
The old grape smuggler. I haven't seen that bathing suit before.
Oh,
Fritz.
man, I'm gonna send you a picture right now.
Oh,
You have one at the ready.
you do not have my consent. Well, folks, you're listening to Home Loans
Is that
Radio.
from your LinkedIn page?
You don't need to know about that.
What's in the news in the world of mortgages this week, Fritz?
Oh well, mortgages are staying steady. Lots of 3s and 2s. Did I get that right? Partial points, partial credits.
Partial bell and a quarter. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. So what's going on in the mortgage? I've been saying this for the last correct me, MJ, if I'm wrong. About 3 weeks now, I've been saying that rates have been starting to creep up.
You have.
And we had the big Federal Reserve meeting.
Ooh, that was a very anticipated meeting.
Yeah, the big Federal Reserve meeting on Wednesday. And they talked about what's been on the minds of all of the markets and all of the things in the treasury markets that kind of control interest rates directly and indirectly. And they came back with the announcement that pretty much what we've been expecting them to say, but they actually put it into words this time. They've been dancing around it, but this time they actually put it into words, and it kind of caused a little bit of a bump in the mortgage rates. So the deal is this, that when COVID started in March of 2020, the Fed started buying our own 10-year treasury bonds and our own mortgage-backed security bonds. What that means to us, and they're spending billions of government money on them to keep that part of the economy going. They wanted the rates low so that housing would keep going and that market, so we'd at least have some portions of the economy really cranking along. And it worked. The housing market, the new construction market, all that has really been cranking, this whole time, even when other things were taking a dip. But they said, there's going to be a hangover for that at some point. We're going to have to stop buying our own bonds and start selling those. at some point, and it's called the taper. That's what the name of that is. I don't think the Fed calls it that, but that's what the media calls it. The financial media is the taper. They're going to taper back on those bonds that they're buying, and a lot, like 20 billion, 40 billion, 50 billion a week for the last 18 months almost. So it's definitely something that's helped keep the interest rates low. And they announced on Wednesday, hey, we are for sure going to start moving the prime rate back up and backing off and tapering off of some of those purchases in 2022. 2022 is right around the corner. We're about to enter the fourth quarter of 2021. So that really had kind of a big impact on the markets. The treasury yield jumped. The interest rates actually started ticking up. They've been ticking up, but they instead of the best rates out there being in the 2.75, 2.875, it ticked up very close to 3% on Thursday, right after the meeting. A little bit down on Friday. So we'll see what happens come next week and how much of an impact that's going to have as the markets kind of digest all of that. What does that mean to you? I've just been talking about a lot of nonsense. I can tell because MJ's eyes have rolled back in her head.
Oh, I might have heard it before.
Well, I mean, to be fair, MJ was saying she was trying to wake herself up. So maybe she's like poking herself in the eye and it really hurt. She's closing her eyes.
I'm just sucking on this tea bag over here.
What? Jesus. All right, let me dump that.
Trying to get the most caffeine out of it.
She really has a tea bag in her mouth, so you don't have to dump that.
I don't. It's in my cup. But anyway, carry on.
Oh, but anyway, what was I saying? You got me off track. Oh,
what does it mean to us?
What does that mean to you?
What does it mean to us?
That if you are thinking about doing a refinance and you've got a 4 or a 5 in front of your loan that you have now, as far as the interest rate goes, you are running out of time to try and refinance that at a rate below 3. I think you could still get it depending on the terms of your loan, the type of the loan. The lower the loan to value, the lower rate you can get. But you really need to take a look at that now if you want to take advantage of the best that's out there. Right now, as of Friday, we have the highest rates we've had in almost 4 months. So it's still right at 3, slightly below, for some people, but it's definitely time to think about it. The 15-year rates are still down to about 2.25 for the best qualified people, and the FHA and VA, the government loans, they're still in the high 2s. So if you're looking to do a purchase, it's still a great time to do a purchase. I'd say even better than it has been, because what we're seeing in the market is the last several weeks, 20 weeks or so, but more importantly, in the last couple of weeks, we're seeing more inventory, meaning more people putting their houses on the market than what we had before. And MJ, kudos to her, doing some homework, told me she saw an article that said that the prices have kind of leveled off on homes, that they're not climbing up as quickly.
I did.
So good on you for doing some homework. But that's true. The housing prices are not climbing. They're kind of leveling off from what we're seeing. And that's great. That means that the supply of houses that are out there to be sold is kind of reaching the level of the supply of buyers that are qualified to buy. So when there's equilibrium on that, you don't have a buyer's market. So
crazy.
Yeah, you don't have a buyer's market or a seller's market. You just have the housing market. When there's more supply than demand, then you have a buyer's market, and when there's more demand than supply, you have a seller's market. So equilibrium is a good thing. And that's about it. That's all I got in the world of mortgage news this week.
Thanks for that, Don.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Don.
I forgot to tell everybody.
That was a great story.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's just rude.
It was a great story.
Can't quite reach her from here, but no, I forgot to tell everybody. You can text in.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You're supposed to join the show. Yeah, I meant to tell you that earlier.
And I know you want to.
Text in to 77031. You can ask your questions live on air. I tell you what's going on in the news just to fill a little bit of time and tell you what's happening.
We look forward to the update in the mortgage world. That's why people tune in.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you think about when you're driving in. You're like, oh, the update.
Yes, the suspense.
All right, good.
I also like it when people tell me what you're doing out there. So fill me in. Dozer Dev is checking in. Good morning, team.
Good morning,
It's
Dev.
his last day at his current job. Monday starts less hours and more pay. Woohoo!
All right.
That's awesome.
I'll take that any day.
Way to go, Dozer Dev. And he says he'll be one step closer to calling Dawn for his first home.
Excelente. Very good. Super.
Yes, absolutamente.
Glad to hear it. Yes, you can. Let me tell the folks their job. I forgot to tell everybody their job. Here's your part in the program. Text in to 77031
homework.
Or you can go to homeloansradio.com. That's the website. There you can get information on buying a home or refinancing. There's pages and pages and pages of documents and PDFs and videos and hundreds of hours of the podcast of our past shows. You can listen to those. Those are labeled. So like if you want to find out more about first-time home buyer, search through the podcast. Find the one where we talk about first-time home buyer programs. And what else can you do on the website, Fritz?
Well, my favorite feature is give Don a shout out.
That's the one.
It's pretty self-explanatory, but you just click on it, give us
Primal
a shout
screen.
out. You know, you can talk about whatever you want to. You can tell us what you're doing, but keep it at mortgages.
Yes, you call in on your phone. You push the button on your phone, right, and you can record an audio. I almost said a video message. That would scare people.
Well, you can, but we won't see it.
You know what? You can also tell us stories too, but just keep it about mortgages. So just very creatively tell us about your day in mortgage terms.
I don't know. Maybe we should have a theme like tell us your bad mortgage story. No, I don't know. That doesn't sound fun.
I don't.
I take it back.
Okay. Yeah, and keep it clean. Keep it under 45 seconds. If you're telling a story,
keep it under 30.
Point.
Keep it under 30 seconds.
Fritz will edit it. For your enjoyment.
On the
spot.
We
are getting some questions.
All right, let's do that.
Will my bad credit affect my partner from first-time home buying? We're trying to get our first home together.
Yeah, if you're both on the mortgage application, which you would be, and they said partners, so. Mm-hmm. I assume you're buying a house together.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Together.
Okay. I missed that part. So your credit, if you're on the loan, will affect the loan, because when you're doing a mortgage as two people on an application, or three or four, or however many, but whoever has the lowest credit score of the bunch, that's what we're going to go off of. We pull Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion for each borrower. And then we go with the lower middle score of the two borrowers when we're determining what we're doing. Now, there is a new thing that just came out last month. Actually, it's the first time that that's ever been done, as long as I've been in the mortgage industry, is that you can do score averaging on Fannie Mae loans. That's a pretty big deal, and it's for exactly this kind of situation.
Oh, wow.
So if you have one person that has a 700 score and one that has a 600 score, you can average it for the purposes of the loan and do a 650 score. The hang up is they're gonna use the 650 score, the average score, for the loan to get it approved. But for the purposes of the interest rate, they're still going to go with the lower of the two middle. But it can help people get qualified. The situation where it would really help. See, the minimum credit score is around 620. So if one borrower has a 600, well, they can't qualify. But if they average with their partner who has a 700, they can. So that's where it's beneficial, and that can help. Where it's really going to affect you is the interest rate. And you can also I have situations where we have a spouse or partners where one has bad credit and also maybe doesn't work, so you can leave that person off of the loan if you don't need their income, but then they can still be on the deed entitled to the property and have ownership. They're just not responsible for qualifying for the mortgage and for the mortgage itself. Great question. You too can text yours into 77031.
Kevin from Missouri is headed to a reunion in Iowa. Listening in.
Kevin from Missouri is headed to a reunion in Iowa.
Oh, an Iowa reunion.
An Iowa. That sounds like a vaccinated event.
I mean,
is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
I'm sure some people think Iowa is heaven.
I can't say I've ever been to Iowa.
I haven't.
Ayahuasca.
No.
Is that the same
thing?
You've been
there?
No. No.
That's a different trip.
It's a different reunion.
We recommend no driving on that trip.
We're like international, Fritz. We get people all the time texting us from across this great land of ours.
Yeah, really.
Good morning, guys. DeLand Beer Guy here. Wondering if Don knows any more information about barn-dominiums. My next home purchase would be to build one from scratch. Are there building loans available?
Well, those are all good questions. And yes, we had the question last week. Thank you for that. About, what do I think about barn-dominiums? And I did a little research as promised. It's really, they've kind of, so a condominium, let me start with a condominium, because the barn-dominium is a portmanteau. Is that right, Fritz? Portmanteau?
That is correct. Yeah. Portmanteau
of the words barn and Fritz taught me that word a couple months back, so I like to